Lady Mirange tells me that a delegation from the Vespe family just landed on the island.
From the look on your face, I take it their arrival is not good news. Are they that bad?
Vespe? That name rings a bell. The draft of Vespe, a deadly poison. That delegation is bad news.
Isn't that the family who rules over Peren? From what I've heard, they're not good company.
I've heard of them, despite the fact that their city has no port. They do not have good standing with me and mine.
If I had to name one family in the merchant congregation who has mastered the art of manipulation and treachery, it would be the de Vespes.
That family has a long-standing grudge against the d'Orsay family. And considering their cutthroat reputation.
I've never ferried them myself, but it's said they are treacherous assassins.
Their name was given to a deadly poison, the draft of Vespe. It's highly regarded among assassins, so there's good reason to worry.
We must ask ourselves why they are here. We should find Lady Mirange as soon as possible to provide assistance.
We should hasten to get back to New Serene.
Ah, Lady de Sardet. Did you get my message?
Indeed. The arrival of the de Vespe family in Tirfredi is surprising, and no doubt worrying. But without knowing their intentions...
Nothing good can come from that family, for the interests of the d'Orsay family and Serene. But I truly cannot tell you anything about the reason for their presence. The message I received was brief. Aurelia de Vespe announced her arrival on the island and asked to see your cousin as soon as possible. She and her entourage seem to have settled in a region that I do not know. Adag ol Credo, north of Vikshadir. I think it would be good for you to locate her and try to find out more.
I know the place. It's close to a cove that we sometimes used to get supplies. We stopped using it when we lost a ship there. But I've never set foot there. I seem to remember the natives considered the region as sacred.
I know this place. But I thought that only the Donaigada from the Baragnodash clan knew how to access it. It's a sacred place. That's where Animide shed his blood.
You should also take advantage and visit these unknown lands. Who knows what they have in store for us?
You're right. It's better for us to go and see what it's all about. What can you tell me about the de Vespe family? I've never met them, and everything I know is hearsay.
And, strange and worrying as it is, the rumors are justified for the most part. Nevertheless, I'm not an expert, and I've been away from the continent for a long time. I'm sure Sieur de Courcillon will be able to tell you more. But know that they have envied the d'Orsay family's power in the congregation for generations. They have tried to impose themselves many times at its head, holding up the antiquity of their city Peren as a pretext. They bribe messengers, use blackmail and trickery, even murder, according to some people. And don't back down for anything. Be very careful with them, Your Excellency, and don't believe a single one of their lies. They're real vipers. Do you have any other questions?
What do you know about Aurelia de Vespe? Is she an important member of the family?
As far as I know, she's the prince's favorite daughter, and the only one left. I seem to remember that she was married to a promising young nobleman for a few years. I heard he died in suspicious circumstances, but I couldn't tell you what happened or if it's even true. But if you want to find out more about her before you go to meet her, you should go to speak to Sieur de Courcillon. Do you have any other questions?
Do you know the city of Peren?
Legend would have it that it's the oldest city in the congregation. and its ruins bear witness to a glorious past. It's a beautiful city with a river running through it, and whose art and architecture have long been a source of inspiration for the old world. Nevertheless, it doesn't have direct access to the sea, which stopped it from thriving and becoming as powerful as Serene. That's what finally pushed it into the background, amidst the larger cities. Do you have any other questions?
Did you know that the congregation had already tried to colonize this island more than a century ago?
No, I did not. But I suspected as much. Seeing the ruins got me thinking. If I understand correctly, you've already found proof of this and you're not happy about it.
I discovered that I'm originally from the island.
And that had been hidden from you. I'm really sorry, but I assure you that I was not aware. You should be asking the Prince for answers to these questions.
My lady, I have to go. Goodbye. Constantine.
My adorable cousin, I am always happy to see you. What news do you bring?
I must take my leave.
Take care, and come back soon.
Sade, you seem somewhat gloomy. What's troubling you?
As you may have heard, the de Vespe family has sent a delegation to the island. It's led by the prince's daughter herself.
Ah, most curious. And very worrying indeed. But you didn't come all this way in person just to bring me the bad news, I take it?
You read my mind. Knowledge is power. I need all the information you've got. What can you tell me about this family?
Well, the House of Vespe has a very long history. They gained their first noble titles through violence a few centuries ago. Then, commerce and close ties with Ptolemy saw them rise to become the Princes of Peren, their ancestral city. However, their lust for power is boundless. And it's no secret they wish to reign over the whole congregation. No luck on that front so far, naturally. Their ambitions have always been curbed by the Dorsays, along with Serene's strategic advantages over Peren.
Quite the history, then. And what about today?
They're more ambitious than ever. When the Malichor epidemic hit Serene as hard as it did, they saw it merely as a weakness to exploit. They attempted a series of maneuvers to oust your uncle from the council. But then the epidemic ended up hitting Peren too. However, I don't think they've given up. And if they've come all the way here, it's surely to gain influence and to undermine your family. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Do you know anything in particular about the prince's daughter, Aurelia de Vespe?
She's a young woman, about your age. Very beautiful, so they say. And she's dearly beloved by her father. Despite her age, she's already endured her fair share of tragedy. Her husband, whom I'm told she deeply loved, was brutally murdered not long ago. What's more, Aurelia's older brother, Octave de Vespe, is rumored to be the one behind it. And I don't just mean he gave the order. That said, don't be fooled into thinking she's but a tragic, defenseless young widow. Oh, she's very much her father's daughter, ambitions and all. I have no doubt she'll be a formidable opponent for yourself and Constantine. Treat her as such. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Given this family's reputation, what's stopping us from arresting them on the spot?
What, without evidence? That would do no good to your uncle's reputation and his position on the continent. I'm sure your cousin would delight in watching him squirm. But the D'Orsay family could never recover from such a situation. If you arrest her without evidence, the Council would be forced to intervene. And that is exactly what that old serpent, Alexandre de Vespe, wants. No, you must play along for now, but be extremely vigilant. Look out for poison in particular. The de Vespes have untraceable poisons down to a science. Their other weapon is compromising information, which they store in special chests without keyholes. Should slander not suffice, their assassins step in. It is said that Peren's river is riddled with the bodies of their enemies. Take care you don't end up joining them. Was there anything else you wish to ask?
Did you know that the congregation have already tried to colonize this island in the past?
Ah, yes. I learned about it in some old archives, but the prince made me swear to keep it a secret.
And I suppose that you also knew that it's where I was born.
No, that part I guessed once I arrived here. But I knew that you were not the child of Madame de Sade. I knew her husband, you see, and despite what you may have been told, you do not look like him. The portraits you saw had been modified to make it seem like you did. I'm sorry. I imagine that uncovering such a lie must have hurt you terribly. But you can be certain of one thing. Your mother loved you dearly.
But why? Why hide the truth from me for all this time?
I don't know. The prince has his own reasons, and he's the one you should be asking. As for your mother, I believe she eventually started believing her own lie.
Looking forward to seeing you again, Sir de Corsillon.
visitors. Legate de Sade, I presume.
Indeed. Delighted to meet you, Your Grace.
The accounts I've been given of you and your companions don't do you justice. Truly, it is a pleasure. We're going to become wonderful friends, you and I'm sure of it. Say, aren't we going to be cousins soon?
Pardon me, Your Grace, but I'm not sure I follow. And if I may ask, what is it precisely that brings you to this remote island?
Haven't you heard? Well, it seems the messengers on this island are not particularly reliable. No matter. Your uncle and my father have decided that your cousin, Prince Constantine, and I are to be married. So, here I am.
My. This is incredible news.
I know you must be surprised. However, this alliance will be a wonderful way to put an end to the enmity between us, don't you think?
Indeed. But I should warn you that you might find my cousin to be different.
Different? I suppose it's normal for a long journey through these new lands to change a person.
As you may have heard, he caught the Malachor. The magic present on this island cured him, but it also changed him.
Truly, it's a miracle he's recovered at all. I'm not surprised that it's left its mark. Still, I'm certain it won't affect our wedding, I assure you. Then, you and I will be cousins, of course. Furthermore, I was hoping I might be able to count on your assistance.
Of course, Your Grace. What can I do for you?
You see, I didn't want to impose myself on New Serene until all the necessary arrangements had been made for my arrival. I had the Nauts drop us off in a quiet place outside the city. Too far outside the city, clearly. There were these savages and bandits skulking around the woods and threatening us. They even robbed me. Worst of all, they took the chest in which I was keeping the marriage contract.
Savages? The only savages I know are the ones who invaded our home.
Oh, please forgive me. I meant no disrespect. Natives, then, is it? In any case, it's absolutely mortifying to have to ask you this, but you know the island and its inhabitants better than I do. Could you perhaps retrieve the chest for me? I would be eternally grateful, cousin.
Can you tell me more about the theft?
Of course. We were unloading our things from those horrid little boats that the Nauts get about in when it was taken. I was busy setting up camp at the time, so I didn't see who it was. My men didn't see much either, because it was dark. But certain natives from the region stopped by in the morning. They were aggressive and insisted that we leave. I'm sure they were behind the robbery, unless it was just bandits. There were a couple that my men chased away, but that's all I know.
Thank you. We'll get about finding it.
Is there anything else?
I won't deny that I'm surprised to hear about your engagement to my cousin, despite the excellent reason you put forth.
Surely you didn't think your cousin would stay single forever? Perhaps you thought to remedy this yourself? Know that although the decision was not my own, I'm very pleased about it. I got the impression your uncle thought a wedding might calm your cousin a little. And now that he's in the role of governor, he needs a wife of his standing. My father saw an opportunity to get me away from Peren, where I was in great danger, and found me a worthy husband in the process. But again, it's clear that their main intention was to put an end to years of conflict. Is there anything else?
Since we're going to be cousins, I'll have to get to know you better.
Well, aren't you just lovely? I'm afraid there isn't much to tell. I was raised like any good princess, educated in both arts and arms. But, as I had several older brothers, I was never really given a political role. I'm still my father's favorite, though. You may know that I've already been married once, but my husband was murdered in cold blood as part of a plot at court.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Please accept my deepest condolences.
You're too kind. After he died, my father decided it was best to send me away from Peren. He knew your cousin was unmarried and was tired of the futile disputes between our families. So he contacted Prince d'Orsay, and the rest is history. Is there anything else?
I must be going, Your Grace.
But of course. Goodbye, dear cousin. you're back. Can I do anything for you?
I must be going, Your Grace.
But of course.
I simply cannot believe that Prince d'Orsay would marry his son to that princess.
This whole wedding business seems quite questionable. I'm not familiar with the customs of the congregation's great families.
This whole wedding business seems suspect. It's very likely that Prince d'Orsay wants Constantine to marry, but choosing Aurelia de Vespe as his daughter-in-law is astonishing, to say the least.
His father may not much like Constantine, but not to the point he would consent to him marrying the family's worst enemy.
You don't seem pleased by what she told you. Would that be because of the contract she spoke of? Your wedding traditions are very complicated.
Yes. The great families use contracts to join two members of their families.
That's what I thought. And it explains why you're so angry. I don't understand why she spoke of union when that family is your enemy.
A wedding could put an end to that. Couldn't that be your uncle's goal? But I'm not educated in the history of the congregation's ruling families.
I'll believe it when I see the contract. And even then I'll look twice.
I can just imagine Constantine's mug when he hears this.
Could the contract she spoke of be forged? Is it even possible? I'm not familiar with the practice.
A document can be forged, especially by them. This much is clear. If we find it, it'll need close scrutiny.
You know your family's political schemes and your uncle much better than I. If you think there's room for doubt...
Yes. I suggest we examine that wedding contract closely.
My dear child, what?
I will see you later.
Take care, my child.
Desade, can I do anything?
I must leave you.
Glad to see you, my friend. Can I do anything for you?
I must leave you.
Karans, do you need...
I must leave you.
Sweet Excellency. Ah, Sweet Excellency.
You seem worried. What's wrong? Don't tell me that Aurelia's scheming has you frightened.
I'm worried about you, of course. I'm sure you'll defeat her. That's not what's worrying me.
Please, tell me what's wrong. You do know you can tell me.
Yes, of course. It's this whole wedding contract business. I'm sure the prince already has some dashing fops lined up to marry you.
That's very possible. You know him as well as I do. But we can always pull the rug out from under him.
What do you mean?
We can wed once this is over. What can he say? He's halfway around the world.
Do you really mean what you just said? You do realize that I'm just an insignificant mercenary to him. He would see it as a mismatch. You would surely lose your position as legate.
He'll certainly be furious and reprimand me. But I doubt he'd do much else. He already did his utmost to use me in his machinations on this island. He won't just give that up. So, what do you think?
I think I'll be the happiest man in the world when I lead my bride to the altar. I love you so much.
I love you too, Kurt.
Anything else?
I must leave you. If I've understood correctly, the chest was here when it was stolen. Ah, there are footprints which lead away from the camp. There are other footprints here. They're quite deep, as if the person who made them were carrying a heavy load. We're on the right path.
Oi, Onol Manawi.
Hello.
Tirtumat. I'm Vad from the Beraignodas clan. I need to speak to you.
Tirtumat, Donegada.
Tirtumat, Siora. I hope your friend will be able to help us. I've heard people talking about you in the village, and Dunkas respects you, so I'm sure you'll understand.
What is it?
This land has been sacred for generations. And only the Donegader of our clan can come to calm the anger of Enonmil Frichtimen.
This is where he spilled the burning blood of the land to destroy our enemies. The sun trembled and the sky was black for days.
It is madness to come back here, especially for Renaigse. You must leave and take all the other Renaigse with you.
Don't worry. They're only passing through. Soon they'll leave this place and reach our city.
I hope so, Onol Manawi. Because we can already feel the anger rising up to Credennis. And many would die if it spread.
And these Renaigse don't understand anything. They're multiplying like flies. No sooner had the ones in black arrived from the sea, than others came from the woods to surround them. And now here you are.
I promise that these lands will soon find their peace.
Do you have anything else to ask us?
I'm looking for a chest which was stolen from the leader of the group that settled here.
And you think we took it? We wish only for their departure. And taking their objects won't help us to get them to leave.
That's not what I meant. I was just wondering if you knew where I might look for it.
Like we said, the Renaigse's presence in this place has attracted others. Others who only speak through violence and who hide even from your people. Maybe they have taken the chest of which you speak.
I saw some Renaigse going to and from the rocky overhang just west from here, but I don't know if they're the same ones. You all look alike.
Thank you. I'll go and investigate.
Do you have anything else to ask us?
You said that this region was sacred. Could you tell me more? What happened here?
Of course. It is good for the knowledge of ancient times to be available to all. Tekka, tell the story.
A long time ago, as I'm sure you already know, the people of the sea emerged from the waves and began to destroy our island. They built houses here and began to hollow the cliffs. When our kings and queens went to pray in the heart of the island, Milfrichtiman didn't just send the guardians. His anger was such that his heart caught fire, and a long trail of burning blood spread all the way to here, destroying everything in its path. The people of the sea were destroyed here in but a moment, and we learned to fear the volcano's anger.
Since that day, us Beregnodas have watched over this place to ensure that that amount of anger never returns to Enon Milfrichtiman's heart. Do you have anything else to ask us?
Thanks again for your help. Goodbye.
Qua awalam seg, Honor Menawi. And don't forget, those Renaikse need to leave.
The undergrowth has been crushed. Several people passed through here.
Protect me in this battle!
Poison on my blade.
The footprints seem less hurried. The thieves must have felt safer here. We must be getting close.
Strange, considering these outlaws were supposedly ripped apart by beasts here.
Eggs regat are rare on this island. We don't see many around here. But I'm convinced they don't eat their prey where they catch it. They would normally take it back to their lair.
It looks like these outlaws were slaughtered without a fight. Very strange, considering they must have been used to makeshift camps.
These outlaws were either very bad fighters, or they were taken by surprise. They didn't even defend themselves.
Maybe they were drunk. But you're right. We should look around before returning Aurelia's chest. This campfire is strange. The ashes and embers are laid out as they should be, but the ground beneath them is untouched. This campfire has not been used. It seems as though it was just laid out as a prop. That's curious. On closer inspection, these men were obviously not killed by animals. The stab wounds are clearly visible. Something is wrong. The stab wounds on these outlaws and the fake campfire make me think this whole scene has been staged. And considering all we know about her family, I can't help thinking Aurelia de Vespe is responsible. The question is, why? I suppose we'll only find out once we've talked to her again. We'd best go back to the camp and return the chest. The de Vespe coat of arms. This must be the chest Aurelia asked us to find.
I suppose there's no way to open it and take a look at that contract.
Is there any way to open it? We could examine this contract of hers.
I say we open it. Let's see if the contract she spoke of is genuine.
I can't see a lock. And we'd be hard-pressed to explain why we broke it. We'd better bring it back untouched.
Halt! Look, a group of armed men. They seem to be waiting for us. We should watch them for a while before moving on.
It seems they are Aurelia de Vespe's swordsmen. I'm afraid it is now beyond doubt. These men were sent to ambush us. Aurelia sent us to recover that chest solely in order to get rid of us.
Those men are idiots. They should have done a better job of concealing themselves. We can easily get around them to avoid a fight.
What a nasty schemer. What do you think? Would you like to go up against those hired assassins, or should we just find a way round them?
If it were up to me, I'd give those assassins a taste of our steel. But if you'd rather play it diplomatically, it shouldn't be difficult to avoid them.
Protect me in this battle!
Let's go!
Sweet Excellency. Do you need something?
I must leave you.
The de Vesps deserve their nefarious reputation. This whole mission was a trap. First those beasts, and then in case we survived them, these assassins.
I expected foul play on her part, but I never thought she'd try to kill us so soon.
She ought to be taught a lesson. But I suppose that would be frowned upon.
She deserves Enon Milfrichteman's wrath. May he engulf her in lava. What do you intend to do?
What do you intend to do, my child? The situation is delicate. We can't just attack them outright.
She'll have to answer for this. But given the power of her family, we must remain polite.
You? I didn't think I'd see you again. So soon.
Is that because you'd hoped we'd be clawed to death by those beasts, or because you thought your assassins would get the better of us?
Come now, who do you take me for? I was just putting your courage to the test, that's all. A princess's whim. I kindly suggest you forget all about this little incident. You see, my dear, we de Vesps have a habit of knowing as much about our enemies as our friends. I'm afraid my father's men have obtained some rather sensitive information, which, well, if the other governors were to find out, it could very well jeopardize your position, along with that of the d'Orsay. If word were to get out about your origin, for example...
Are you trying to blackmail me?
Oh, what a horrid word! Come now, I would never do such a thing. Let's just say that I'm ensuring your loyalty. In fact, some of my men are already at the courts of Hikmet and San Mateus, and ready to act if you try anything. But I'm sure it won't come to that. We'll soon be part of the same family, after all.
Why do you feel the need to resort to blackmail? You have your contract. Why threaten me?
My sweet summer child. You seem to have learnt to navigate the seas of politics in a duck pond. My waters, however, were shark-infested. Knowing the weaknesses of others, as well as how and when to exploit them to ensure unwavering loyalty, is key to survival as a de Vespe. I believe I mentioned that my late husband was murdered at court. Well, his killers worked for my brother. My own brother didn't think twice before having the man I loved killed to secure his position. He broke my heart. I understand, of course. I'd probably do the same. And what of it? Do you think I would feel more remorse were it, say, a cousin-in-law? Is there anything else?
What are your intentions? Surely you're not going to all this trouble just to marry my cousin.
And why not? Your cousin's quite the catch, you know. Don't tell me you haven't thought about it yourself. But you're quite right. I want more than just a new husband. I want a place where I can showcase my talents. A place to shine. Who knows? As the governor's wife, I could even become the new legate and try my hand at diplomacy. Unless I decide to keep you, of course. That is, if you promise to serve me well and aid me in expanding our influence on this island and beyond. The de Vespes have long worked in the shadows of the congregation. No more. I hope that answers your question. Is there anything else?
Here's your chest. This is the one you sent me to fetch.
Yes, that's the one. Thank you for your help. You have shown yourself to be as reliable as they say. Long may it continue to be the case. Well, now that I've recovered my precious documents, you'll be able to deliver the wedding contract to your cousin in New Serene. I await the preparations for my arrival and accommodation. Then there'll be plenty of time to prepare the ceremony with my husband-to-be.
The arrival of a noble lady such as yourself will require several arrangements. New Serene is a very new city.
Yes, I'm sure. Don't dither for too long now. I'm counting on you to be as quick as possible. And to convince your cousin and his men to be reasonable. You know what's at stake. Is there anything else?
Since we're going to be cousins, I'll have to get to know you better.
Well, aren't you just lovely? I'm afraid there isn't much to do. But, as I had several... You may know that I've already been married.
I'm very sorry for your...
You're too kind. He knew your cousin was unmarried. Is there anything...
I must be going, Your Grace.
But of course. Goodbye, dear cousin.
She has us. We now have the contract, but even if it does turn out to be forged, we have no choice but to bend to her will.
Damnation. She's a thorn in our side. I wonder what she knows exactly.
Sadly, all families have their secrets. And whichever one she holds would be enough to put our family at risk.
Come, my child. Have I not taught you anything? I appreciate that our adversary is devious.
The situation is complicated, but the equation is not unsolvable.
The same can be said of all noble families, of course. In that case, we must find those documents before she uses them.
Let's recover the documents held by those henchmen in Hikmet and San Mateus. We'll then have all we need to act against her.
After that, we can settle our score with her.
You're right. It's the only way to put an end to this alliance and supplant the Viper.